What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're taking a look at Romance Killer, which is a Netflix show which I didn't expect to be as heavy as it was. And we'll get into that a little bit later on in the video, but today it is just an anime which is 12 episodes long, 20 minutes each per episode, an easy watch in one day if you wanted to bang it out, and it is on Netflix, so it's very easily accessible to everyone. It does have sub and dub options, but again, I do watch it in dub. I know a lot of people hate that, but I do struggle with reading, so it is the only option that I really have to watch anime, and it is a series which I didn't expect to be as heavy as it was. It is called Romance Killer, and yeah, let's just get into the Google side of things. No point wasting any more time. So, how this series starts is it has one season and has a 7.6 out of 10 IMDb. Living her best single life, romance is the last thing on this girl's mind until a tiny matchmaking wizard suddenly turns her life into a cliche rom-com. So how this series starts out is she's excited to get home to play this new game with her three most best desires: chocolate, her cat, and video games. That's all she does. That's all she ever likes to do with her life, and she's happy and content with that. And to be fair, I would be too. I'm happy and content just sat at home playing video games, making videos for you guys, and chilling with my dog. Nothing better to do in the world. And, that's how this series goes. And, it sort of has the usual things with the girl falling on top of the guy, them casually running into each other. However, she does have to struggle with the fact that four guys like her. A rich, stuck-up brat, which actually hits her with a car when she's running late, and then decides to help her get to school on time. And we have the sort of hot boy, which she actually ends up falling for in the end, which is the one which has the relationship built right from the start, where they're now living together, and he helped her get rid of a cockroach. And then, because the sort of childhood friend's mother's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time, I like you, yada yada yada, it's scary for a girl to be on her own, have my son to be your bodyguard and live with you and protect you. So, all three of them are now living together, and this third boy is also there who drives them all to school, and then it puts a target on her back because obviously the other girls are like, hey, how come you get to be with this guy? We want to be with this guy. Tell us your secrets. And she's a good girl, and she's like, yo, no, I'm not giving away this guy's secrets. He's my friend. I'm going to be respectful to his privacy, and you should be too. And they're like, hey, fuck you. Fuck that. And there's just a load of stereotypical sort of rom-com stuff, some like average shit that's in every romance anime that comes through. But then, towards the end, it gets real. I stopped watching from my phone when this shit started to happen because the main character, one of the main guys, has been stalked by a girl his entire life because all he did was pick up a handbag, and she's been obsessed with him ever since. And due to that, they stalked her. They stalked him and followed him and tried to chase him down and hunt him down, and they successfully did it. And that's not too good. And she starts following him again because she finds him in the background of a picture, and it gets real with her showing up everywhere, threatening to stab people, threatening to kill people, and it just took such a dark twist that I genuinely wasn't expecting. It was all happy, upbeat, and positive until the end, and it was quite an upsetting ending because even the guy's father didn't believe him that, it was her fault. She blamed everything on him, which gave him a harder time and felt like it was his fault when it really wasn't. And it has a very similar sort of vibe to the new Netflix show which recently came out, but this one I feel like was handled so well, and they took time to sort of show how, people can act to it and how that they should treat it as seriously as it is. They don't make any jokes with it. They don't go over the top with it. They try to keep it realistic, and I think they handled it so fucking well. So that's the series as a whole, and I'm going to go off the start of the series before I get into the more serious subject of the end. So how it starts is very sort of, she doesn't want love, she's going to do everything she can to stop it. Very cartoony, very goofy, very silly, and she even has this masculine sort of drawing that she turns into, this sort of masculine avatar, which she sort of turns into when she wants to sort of push away the boys, and I think that's quite funny. However, after like the first few times you see it, it gets repetitive, and she keeps bringing it out, and she's constantly trying to not be the perfect boyfriend, like not be the perfect girlfriend, and like no one wants to like her, but she's just so good of a friend, helping people out constantly, doing the best things for everyone else. She's like the perfect friend. It's weird with like how good she is to everyone. However, it is very strange. It is very strange because of a lot of things with the ending and how dark of a twist that it became. And I wasn't expecting it, and it kind of caught me off guard with how serious everything turned to in this world of like magic and comedy and sort of stereotyping romance. And then it just went to shit, and it was scary, and I don't know, it wasn't good. They handled it really well though. I liked how they made her look realistic and didn't make her stand out compared to the rest of them. And I don't know, it was very heavy hitting. And I don't really know how to talk about it. I'm gonna be honest. It's just a scary situation to be in, and uh, it I don't know. I don't know. It's just scary how the world can work sometimes, and seeing this show and seeing how well they handled it puts it in like more of the mainstream light, so then more people can be aware of these types of situations and how to get out of them, and how that talking to people and opening up about these situations can help, even if some people that you open up to, like your father, don't believe you. There will always be someone and some good friends out there who will help you. His father was such a shit father and such a dickhead that like he didn't believe his own son. And there is going to be awful people out there in the world that are like that and won't believe you and think that you're doing it for attention. But that is obviously not the case. And you could tell that from this character. And if you actually truly know this character, he's not like that. And that's the message the show is trying to get across, in my opinion, that there is always going to be someone there who is there to help and is there for you. You just have to find that person, open up to that person. Animation and voice acting, again, as per usual, are pretty good. I think this is a really high quality sort of anime, and it is a really good art style, and one art style which I do like, and I think they do a good job with the colors and the shading and everything. And the scenery is pretty normal, like it's set in like a high school, but they do a really good job of not overly sexualizing the characters, unlike what they did with Kobe Can't Communicate, an anime which we took a look at a couple of weeks ago. But again, with these wizards, they took it all into like a magical aspect, and it was quite good to start with, but I feel like the magical aspect with was a huge contrast to like how serious it went towards an end. They didn't take themselves too seriously until the end, and I'm glad that they took themselves seriously in the end when they were telling that part of the story. And it's a part of the story that I genuinely didn't expect. I know I talked about like how much it caught me off guard, but it truly did. It was such a happy and upbeat anime, and then we was hit with this bombshell of information which genuinely came to a shock and made me put my phone down. I was watching this through my phone, editing videos, setting up videos, and sort of making thumbnails whilst I had this on in the background, and then I heard this sort of fucking bombshell drop in the background, and I instantly dropped everything and watched it, had my full attention on it, and I was like, holy shit, this got real, and it got real quick. And because of that, I have to give this anime a better score than what I was going to, because of this like last bit of story, which made it interesting, meaningful, gave the anime a much deeper message and a much like stronger tone. It just instantly raised the bar and instantly went above and beyond with this story, something that I genuinely didn't expect to come from this comedy anime. And I'm putting comedy in like quotation marks because, again, it wasn't that funny. It was all very stereotypical and very predictable until the end. And I am going to put like a trigger warning for those of you that want to watch this, obviously with stalkers and stuff. So don't watch this if obviously that has affected you and that like will affect you watching this. It's like trigger warning type stuff. And I do still recommend that you do watch it though. It is a really good anime with a really strong message. Maybe the start is quite boring, but once you get past the start, it gets good. It gets a lot interesting and a lot deeper of meaning. And other than that, it gets a 7 out of 10 because the start was shit, so it loses 3 points. I probably wouldn't watch this again, but it's still good for it to get out there, and it needs to be bigger than what it is. It needs to have more screen time. It's an underrated anime, and this message needs to be out there for a lot more people to see. But other than that, this has been your daily scheduled anime review, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video where we take a look at another review of some form of media. And other than that, there isn't much else. So I'll see you all in the next one. Hope you all have a nice day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. If you do want to recommend me any other animes, TV shows, please do leave them down in the comments, and I'll get on them as soon as possible. But as of for now, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.